right, hello there, everybody. We're getting a late start because Eidolon ran long this evening. God damn it! I turned the stream audio on. Get my blue sky out of here. Whoops! I forgot how streaming worked for a second. I don't think anything compromising was on that screen, but for a quick flash, you got to see what kind of likes I had on Blue Sky. So, enjoy that one. Let's see. Let me put a retweet out here so I'm not just talking to the void. And or anyone who's catching a VOD of this. If you're catching a VOD of this, hey, how's it going? Oh, we're live. Twitch.tv/VJoeentropy. Alright. I'm gonna just sort of chill in here for a minute or two while folks come in. I think so Iris is busy this evening. I don't know that anyone else is going to be around to co-pilot. That might add up to this being a quicker stream, shorter stream than usual, which, you know, we're already getting a late start, so we'll see. But especially with it, with us missing last week because of the storms, I didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. It ended up kind of not having anything to do with the winter storms. I got called into work, and it turned out it's because they were firing the guy whose shift I was covering. So that's what happened there. That's how my week's been. So I think, you know, I've been talking about it. I still do feel like I need to get a stronger runner game. I was playing a little bit last night, especially going into a Yuko. I really feel there is a part of my heart that forfeits a tiny bit as soon as I see Ayuko on the other side of the table, and that's a bad. I need to grow past that. Right, I need to know how to handle that matchup, and just I think better at runner in general. Having better runner fundamentals will help with that in general. So probably mostly going to focus on runner side tonight still, although I do just kind of want to get in here with a quick Bangoon game because I have a problem. Twitch.tv/video entropy, and we're going to corp it up, and we're going to create a game. Someone's in here. Hello. I am tired. I feel like complaining about insomnia is a running through line throughout this entire set of streams. While we're waiting for a matchup here, I'll say if you missed it over on the old Blueski, if you head over to gamesline.net, which is a video game website that, you know, friend of the stream, member of the Audio Entropy Network, Crystal, contributes to, and she reached out to me for a guest Game of the Year article, and I do have Jinteki.net as my favorite video game of 2025, so you can go check that out if you want to. See me complain about how most video games are bad now, but at least we have Netrunner. And we have Skate Story and Silk Song. There were some good games last year, but I was kind of not feeling video games this past year. I don't know. They're not really doing it for me. Oop, here we go. Ooh, Mercury. All right. So, against Mercury, getting Centrals iced up is pretty damn important. I might play it risky and go with this hand against other IDs, but with Mercury, I think we need to try and get something iced. Oh god, okay. So I think let's do this to try and protect the Basalt. and this to hopefully just score this Divested Trust right out of the gate. You know, hopefully they see that and say, like, hey, we're going for centrals. We're not going to, you know, eat the Bangoon damage. And then we get that Divested, you know, scored, and then that'll help us in the future to do something other than throw a Hail Mary on turn 1, which we're kind of doing. Never mind. Oh, wait. Oh, they might have just lost immediately, actually. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, I feel bad about this one. Well... yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's not how you want a game of Netrunner to go. Oof. Oof. Let's do one more Bangoon game and try and get something that takes longer than one turn. I feel really bad about that one. We should full screen here. A little extra screen real estate. You don't need to see that I'm working on Thread Spinner and other tabs. Hey, Justine, how's it going? See, this is how we're different as a Jinteki player. When this happens, I smile. Nah, I might have smiled at it if I was playing on my own, but it doesn't feel good to broadcast it to other people. It doesn't feel good to be advertising, hey, there's folks watching this game, and then, you know, do that to somebody. If I was, say, at a tournament, oh yeah, I'm cackling. I mean, internally I'm cackling. I'll be very polite and sportsmanlike, but I will be, I'll be rubbing my grubby little mitts together over that one, yeah. But in this context, not so much. Alright, here we go. Baz. Okay, this hand sucks ass. They had a little shuffle sound the other day to Jinteki, which I'm kind of charmed by, I'll admit. Alright, so I think we slap this on HQ, hedge fund, install this, and hopefully get to take some money off it next turn. Okay. Get out of here. Alright. Right, we're fighting Baz. Interesting, okay. Oh, that was good too, because it dodged the Afshar money damage. Well, don't love that as a start. Getting out of Kuru Pira, alright. I was real worried they were about to score an agenda and we would just measure them for another game almost as fast as the last one. Yeah, I think we just... Yep, go for it. I feel like I am starting to get to a point where I try to defend my Regulus a little more than I have been, but there is part of me that's like, hey, a card that's like get 6 credits, take 3 credits and a click away from the runner, like that's maybe worth 3 clicks, you know, to just install and click it twice and that's your turn. Like, I'm not... later game, when their money's good, that's less of a good move to make. But early on, when it can kind of hurt the recon, I'm kind of not opposed. Alright. Let's do this. either they steal it, in which case they take 2 damage plus 2 more damage from an enemy, and then get measured next turn, or they don't steal it and we get on the board. I'm pretty pleased in either situation. But if they run HQ and trash the measured response, that's sort of I'm not as into it then. And that's exactly what they're going to end up doing here. Oh, transfer on top. Okay. All right, well. Although if they run this now, they would just die, so I think we are going to get to score it out, at the very least. And then they're just going to clear the tag on the last click here. Yeah. Which, that's fine. Okay. So if I do grab like a second Afshar here, that will count for that. But they're looking like they want to hit HQ, so I think I'm going to do that, because 2 Afshars on top of each other gets pretty pricey. Like, I could grab Winchester instead, but I feel like, you know, like, Winchester's good overall, but it's really good when it's a surprise, so I don't love grabbing it with Tucana. I think we just... Once again, we're in a situation where they can probably get enough money to dodge a measure at this point. But even if they do, you know, we just pop divested and they have to do the STS all over again. Like, unless they have a Chesva handy, I don't really know what they would sack to the SDS, you know? Yeah, like I get they're gonna derez one of these, but this is gonna be what, 6 credits to get through. It's all their money, and you know they'll probably get to trash the measured response, which we don't like. But oh, yeah, that's fair. They thought they could like dodge the Bangoon damage by using Magletric on the STS. Which would be a smart play if that is how it worked. Do I... Our money's iffy enough. Their money's kind of iffy, too. I think I don't want to dip that low in credits. If they hit an agenda, hey, we make money off of it. And right now, even with Docklands, HQ is pretty safe. So, let's see. We obviously do that. Do we kill... I mean, Cat's Cradle obviously is how you get into HQ, and you want to be getting into HQ. So I probably go for Cat's Cradle. And I'm sure they have a backup breaker, and this is like just a setback, but even so. What do we want to get out? I mean, if we want to make that hurt, we could do Fly Swatter. That's free. They're probably not on viruses, so we don't care about its main effect. it keeps R&D protected. I think that makes sense. The humanitarian airship Bangoon is at it again. That's so true. We believe in humanitarianism over here. I do keep thinking about, they've teased that public agenda in Vantage Point that it looks like a 2-4 that does damage in some way. It seems very much designed with Bangoon in mind. And then part of me is like, well, yeah, I definitely... Hey, doing more damage is always great. I'm going to have to really think hard about how I squeeze that in here. I feel like the agenda suite is not like the issue I have with Bangoon. It's more just having strong enough central defense to force you to engage with the remote, Oh, no. That ain't what I wanted to see. How spicy do we go here? I think we can go relatively spicy. For 2,400 words of fiction for it. Hell yeah! I actually, last year, right after Elevation came out, they put out like a call to hire narrative folks, and I applied for it at the time. I got a nice email from Patrick about it, saying that, I was kind of on the short list, but didn't quite make the cut, and encouraged me to apply again next time they have an opening, which I totally will. Here's the question. Do I just let this through? I can stop it, or I can do 4 damage, get 5 credits, and kill your Korapira. I think that's worth just letting it through. Most excited for the prospect of cards coming off the ban list, free daily cast. I would not be shocked if they just kept daily cast banned just because, like, they are trying to rotate out all the FFG stuff, and, like, it's there because of system update, and maybe... Or not system... No, right, it's in Ashes. It's not system update. That's the thing about it. But I can imagine a world where they just say, like... that we're soft rotating it by banning it. And obviously we have, like, SMC still. Is there one other? I think it's just those two. And then I would love a seamless launch right now. Seamless launch would go bananas. Oh, wait a second. I won. Hold on. I'm thinking too hard about how to score, and I'm not seeing that I can just do this. My read on is they think Shapers will ruin it with Knick-Knack. Yeah, I could... Yeah, Knick-Knack would be a little messed up there. I'm gonna do one more Bangoon game just because they're fun. Everyone... No one talks enough about how Bangoon is just more fun to play than every other Corp ID right now. I don't know what to tell you. There's, like, Netrunner, which is a really fun game, and then there's Bangoon Netrunner, which is the most fun game. The most fun thing to do with Angelique is to have Basalt, and they've got their money good, so they think you can't do measured response Basalt tricks, so they end their turn on one card, and then you just... Angelique, Basalt, Angelique again. It rocks. RH for Prio Glacier is... Yeah, that's pretty nasty also. Just trying to, like... sort of, like, homebrew your own Ag Infusion. Now that Ag Infusion's rotated. Hoping the new Jinteki ID will spark joy in me. I am so curious about the little tease of, like, what color is your Jinteki? I want to know what that means. I've been thinking for a while that a fun runner ID, and I have no... This seems like a nightmare to balance. Maybe you couldn't do it. Would be, like... Let's say it's criminal. Because you could do this with any faction. But let's say it's criminal, and it's got, like, maybe very low influence, but then its ability is, let's say... Shaper cards do not cost influence. You cannot play or install Shaper cards. Click, flip this identity. And on the flip side, it's a Shaper that cannot play or install criminal cards. And you can flip back to be criminal. Best spoiler so far to me is the one that is an NBN fully op that helps that fit. Yeah, the NBN fully op thing is interesting. Oh god, it's Laura. I'm gonna get my ass kicked. That's fair. I deserve it. Yeah, no, I want some money. Shaper might be too nuts. Crim and Anarch might be okay. Yeah, I don't know which two factions you would do it for. That'd be like step one of figuring out how to try to balance that. I would have loved to draw like any ice or any money. I think that would have been cool, personally. Nope, still none? Okay. Oh no. Do I just install this and say, hey, if you feel like taking a tag and 2 damage turn 1, that's up to you? Yeah, I think so. I think that's the game that the deck is making me play. I shouldn't have done that, because now I'm getting, like, less utility out of the Spin Doctor. Alright. And then are you hanning away the tag? No, okay. So, hey, you're broke. That's something. Oh, fuck you. God damn it. Come on. Yeah, let's just do that. Now my spin is full value. You're so right. I got exactly what I asked for, huh? Let's put that there. And let's put that there. When you see, like, a world-class level player join your game, this is the exact kind of opening hand you love to see. Like, I need to explain to my deck, I don't need any help getting clowned on in this game. Okay, hey. This almost looks like something. Would love to have Afshar on a central, but I'll take it at this point. Here's a question. Do I purge? What would I throw out? Probably the Argus. I think I purge, because your money's bad, and you can fix it if I don't. Let's purge. I played against Laura's... What was she playing last night? I think it was Lat. And I did, like... okay. Like, I got down... Like, we were both on game point. I had her ground down to, like, no cards left in her deck. I was like, this... I'm not winning. I didn't win. But, like... I got as close as I've ever gotten, I think. And I think we'll just put Tukana here just to keep it alive. Ugh. Got it. Now, has she considered that I want this money, though? And that I'd prefer that she didn't take it away from me? I feel like that's maybe something she's left out of her calculus here. Okay. Her money's not amazing. But it can get pretty damn good fast. Let's play spicy. Why not? Okay. And we do this. Kill the buzzsaw. I'm feeling okay. I've gone from being very skeptical about how this game's going to feeling okay about it. Yep, nothing there for you. You can get in there, though. Can't stop that. Oh, you're kidding me. Come on now. I mean, I guess I better. What do we extract here? Ugh. I kind of want all of this, but I want money more. This is unnecessary risk. This was really stupid. I'm hoping that by doing that, surely I wouldn't do that if I had an agenda in hand, right? And surely there's not other incentives you'd have to run my hand to just trash stuff. This was a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. Bad at Netrunner. Yeah, okay, well. Okay. Never punished. Now, I can do 2, 4, 6 damage. So she can draw up and steal. And I can't actually do 6 damage because she'll win before this triggers. So unfortunately, I don't think I can put... Oh, wait. Oh, well, she's got no decoder. So she would need a way to crack this, which she could totally have. Both decoders are in the trash. She might have, like, Botulus or something, but we're not winning this game by playing cautious. Sandwich chips also, yeah, yeah. But I think the problem, there's totally ways that she could get in here. Does she have enough clicks to get in here and draw up enough to survive getting in here is the question. Because without a killer, this does 3 damage, not 2. So she needs 4 cards in hand to steal. It's totally doable, but I'm not getting a better scoring window than what I've got right now, you know? Now, what's going to suck is when I top deck another 3-pointer and she just runs HQ next turn and I eat shit. Presumably has one more Rising Tide, but any luck, we can nab it with this. What does this cost if I power it up to kill? It's 7 strength, so 3 to get to 3, 6 to get to 5, 9 to get to 7, and then 2 more to finish it off, so 11 credits. Our money's bad, and as much as, like, she can do it, you know? So I think for now we just use the mask to stop it. I do not have any fast advance, no. I have to defend it for at least 1 turn. The general strategy is to have enough, like, damage upgrades that, like, they run through some enemies. I've got an Angelique and a Daniela down here, and you simply do not have the hand size needed. Like, we're getting to the point, she's got 8 cards left, period. If I had, that's 2, 4... Well, again, but on the game point. When she's on game point, it gets a lot harder. Daniela is one of the few that actually matters. So why don't we try to draw for Daniela? That's not Daniela. That's not Daniela at all. Face down bluff is a play sometimes also, too, yeah. I maybe should have thought about purging. You're rich as hell. Get that back. Let's get Seamless Launch back. Well, this math has only gotten less friendly since last turn. I think we need the money. I think we just need the money. And we just gotta hope that R&D holds up its end of the bargain. Okay, we're alive for one more turn. Hey, there's Daniela. Okay, this is the push. We did shuffle, so she will see a totally new set of cards. With Daniela, we have exactly enough that if she runs all the way, she dies. Yeah, because an enemy does 2 damage. Daniela... Bangun does 2, Angelique does 2, so that's 6 total, and Daniela means you can't steal. So if she runs the remote, she dies. I assume she's just going to run R&D again and hope for the best. Yeah, a strategy I've tried to lean into more lately with Bangoon is truly... oh, no. Well, the good news is she didn't get another twinning charge. So it's only 2 cards and not 3. The bad news is she can do this and then she can run R&D to see more. Oh, wait, it is 3 cards because of Eru. What are you doing?
Wife things.
Clearly. Okay. Whew. Oh, baby. That felt pretty good. Not gonna lie. That was like R&D totally saved me there. Why were you inspecting my scalp like a monkey looking for ticks, my beautiful wife of mine? The stream says you're reading, and yet you are picking through my hair.
Working on going to bed, I was touching your head lovingly, and I found a scab, and I was like, "Is that a scab?" And I opened up your head, and I got my phone flashlight out to check. Yeah, it's a scab.
Probably just scratched my scalp a little too hard at some point.
Probably.
Great.
Can I say that, like, when you first started, I asked you to close the door to the office.
Yeah.
You might have not at the beginning. You might not as even well. I could hear like every word you were saying perfectly.
I feel like I'm not even talking that loud.
You've quieted down a little bit, but like I could no longer make out every word perfectly after a little while. But you're a very loud man.
I do tend to project without really meaning to. I'm sorry, my beautiful wife.
It's all that theater training.
Oh, it's the 3 whole years of theater class in high school. Dirigibilistic wife's grooming me like an apelets Netrun. Yeah. All right, I think let's go out on a high note for Bangoon there. That was a clean ass win. I can't call it that. That was a win that came down to R&D, just not having cards in it. But it was a win nevertheless. So let's call it there for now. And let's think about Runner. So I have never built a Lu deck. And I've been fighting a lot of Lu decks lately, and it seems kind of fun. I kind of want to give Lu a try. Where are ya? Oh, Lu's like his nickname. Okay, yeah. That... I only ever know their, like, nicknames, and it makes it hard, like... Finding Sable sorted in the N's because her name is Nayusha. It's like, what? No, she should be in the S's. Where'd she go? I don't know why I've got this... I should probably move over to NRDB. That's going to be the easier place to, build a deck in. I could just, like, net deck. I'm not really looking to do anything too silly here. But I also feel like I know the card pool well enough that I can just do this. You now know my NRDB username. That felt like I probably violated some kind of security something there. Anyhow, let's not worry about whether I just doxed myself. I don't think I did. Yeah, let's get in here. So, right off the bat, we want 3 gourmands. Like, that's just going in immediately. We want... I mean, we want to trash stuff anyway, so Audrey seems like a sensible breaker to me. Unless, do we want to go with, like, just a more... like a full breaker suite here instead of doing the Audrey shtick? Like, do like 2 Buzzsaws, 3 Rising Tides, maybe import an Echelon. That might be worth doing, just as something different. Let's do that. I've played a lot of Seb games, so I've done a lot of Audrey stuff. I don't know if you want to spend the influence on simulchips for virus stuff. Yeah, it's a fair point. Yeah, because the other way to go, right, do Botulises, do Audreys. That's the big divergence point between, like, Seb and every other Anarch Breaker, or Runner, rather, is that you have influence to spare because you're not blowing it all on Transfer of Wealth. I miss so much. Is it going to come up here? I don't think it will because it's not in Standard. Fucking... I'm just going to open up a new tab. Give me Hot Pursuit back. I miss Hot Pursuit so bad with Seb. The influence is so much less. You can import other fucking cards into Seb. Instead of having to decide between having, like, objectively a really strong card or having other stuff to do. Transfer Crew Chiseloo sounds pretty fun too. At that point, just play Seb, I feel like. Anyway, that's enough whining. Alright. So 3 Rising Tide, 3 Gourmand. We said let's go maybe 2 Buzzsaw. And then we, like... Anarch kind of doesn't have a very good killer right now, right? Like, they've got Boitada, which is, like, fine-ish? No, it's not. And then they've got Hantu, which I feel like just there needs to be more virus support for Hantu to make any sense, in my opinion. And then I guess you've got, what is it, the companion one, Odore? Yeah. It's expensive to install is the only thing. And 3 for 3 strength. That's weird. That's an iffy one. Yeah, I think, Echelon's the Anarch Killer. Yeah, I think that's pretty much true. That's it. If they print, like, a couple, like, ways to add virus counters to viruses, other than their own effects, I can see Hantu getting good someday. It's just not there right now. Probably 2. I don't see why not. I don't need to be stingy. And then, yep, sure gambles. Probably want some fermenters. Want a full 3 for, let's do 3 for now. We might go down to 2. We'll see. We can probably do some leeches. The thing I'm thinking, and we'll feel it out as we go. Because we want to be trashing lots of stuff. I kind of like the idea of focusing in really hard on HQ harassment and just, like, really just going to town on their hand and not letting them hold on to stuff. We should grab some simul-chips for the sake of Gourmand, I feel like. Yeah, Hantu's so close to being reasonable. Yeah, again, I truly think, like, was it Freedom Kahlo who I'm thinking of? Is that the virus guy? You remember X virus counter from installed cards to trash a card? No, right. He's the virus Anarch, but I'm thinking of Friday Chip was the card, was it? Place a virus counter on Friday Chip. When your turn begins, you may move a hosted virus counter to a virus program. Yeah, see, if you had this, I think Hantu would be sick as hell, you know? And I'll bet you, I don't know if we're getting it, like, in VP, but I'll bet we'll get some kind of virus support like this again someday. Yeah, virus is just a little weak right now. Yeah, totally. Maybe Hantu wouldn't be sick as hell with this, but it would be reasonable. Like, you could make it work, you know? What else do we want? Pinhole threading definitely makes some sense. Like, kind of just makes sense in everything. My beautiful wife is back. She tapped me on the forehead. And then kissed me on the forehead. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals from my beautiful wife. She's doing nothing to disambiguate the situation. What else we got? I don't know how bad we need Botulis, but, like, it's not bad, right? I'm not rushing to put it in here, but, like, what the hell's Lampides? I don't even know what oh, it's a Vantage Point card. That's why I don't know what it is. Okay. Place 3 power counters on it. Host a power counter, pay the printed res, or play cost. Oh, interesting. Okay. So it's for cards like Wage Workers that are cheaper to res than they are to trash. I see. Or a way to, yeah, kill operations. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what hates this is any Oppo research deck. I wonder how wide used that'll get. What are we doing here? I'm just sort of talking to myself. We need more money. Because I think right now we just have Sure Gamble and Fermenter. We have Sure Gamble. Could grab some Wildcat Strikes. Toss in 3 for now. It might go down to 2. We'll see. We probably want... Well, what do we want for console? We could do, like, Onacom for stuff. I think if we were doing Onacom, we would want to go with Audrey. If we were importing that. Raindrops is really bad. Yeah, we can grab some Raindrops. I feel like I've seen a lot of people using Raindrops on, like, unprotected servers. And I get that, like, when you don't have Vonhar to, like, combo with this, that... I get it. But also, a click and a card for 2 credits just doesn't seem that strong to me. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I want to be drawing cards off of Raindrops if I'm playing it, you know? And hey, maybe once I get in here and... I have not really put Raindrops in any deck since Vonhar got banned, so maybe I'll change my tune when I'm in here. Sometimes getting an extra 2 credits is all you need. I do get that. What's a Bosse? Fully breaks a piece of ice, trash a card from your grip to draw a card. Huh. Huh.
You forgot something.
What did I forget? What?
Something downstairs.
What did I forget?
Something you were doing earlier. Something that you started earlier that you never continued.
Oh yeah, I did start my laundry and then never moved into the dryer, huh? Whoops.
You're welcome.
Oh, you took care of it?
Yeah.
You're an angel. I love you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to endure humiliation for failing that basic adult task. Starting to harass the hand. I kind of like the idea of we could only get 1 in here. I don't know if that's making the cut in the end. We'll see. Cacophony's the fun option, but probably not the right one. Cacophony's kind of interesting. If we're thinking about Sabotage, though, what about, like, I realize this is more of a, what do you call it, an Asa card, but might be kind of fun. Might be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll toss 2 in now. I can see cutting it. Right, I was trying to think of consoles. So, Amanuensis makes no sense. Bling, we would really need to be building around Bling in a way that we haven't been so far. That's for sure. Carnivore actually could be interesting with Strike Funds and Steel Skins. Maybe. I don't know. Demolisher. I'm kind of thinking Demolisher. I think let's do Demolisher and see how we like it. I think if we did Gashapon, we need more targets for it to hit. Ghost Tongue, maybe. Keiko, we already have a console. Marrow, maybe. I think I want to try Demolisher at least. We'll see how we like it. Solidarity Badge probably makes some sense here, right? We're not tagging ourselves constantly like Seb, but we are trashing things constantly, so we should be getting free card draw out of it, ideally. Getting close to the maximum here. The price probably makes some sense. Start with 2, might go to 3, we'll see. The only problem is we have a lot of events, and the price ruins those. There's kind of no good excuse to not be doing these, right? At least 3 Steel Skins. Maybe you could justify not doing Strike Funds if you're not on Audrey. but like, those should go in over the Wildcat Strikes. Yeah, that makes more sense. They have more utility. So that gets us to 40. Are we happy with this? Like I say, nearly half the deck just gets eaten by the price. So the price might be the wrong call here. Although we don't care if the Strike Funds and Steel Skins get eaten. So maybe 14. No, 11 is what we should be saying, which is like a quarter of the deck. Yeah. I mean, maybe we need to think about that when we like decide whether we want to play it. We did put the Choshtushkas in. What is our win con? Is it? I think in my heart, the thing I would love to see is we are just constantly cracking into HQ, trashing everything they've got, and anytime they do manage to slip something into a remote, we've just got the breakers and we run it. That is in my brain. That is how this deck functions. We'll see when the rubber meets the road if that actually comes to pass. We do have one unused influence, which a third pinhole threading kind of sounds like the way to round that out, honestly. Yeah, Gashman's a good open over. Yeah, virtuals would be nice. We should have a Paladin in here. And we have enough events that a Mystic Miami makes sense, too. Paladin, Mystic. We're already over, so I don't know if we can afford to do 2 of either. And then, yeah, maybe drop the price for Gashapons. Because we do have a fair number of programs here. I'm not too obsessed with sticking to exactly 40 on the dot. We can slip a little bit over, but especially because we have card draw with our ID. I feel like I was thinking of something else here. Oh, Botulus would also like help us to control servers. Like, it is a generically good card. I know I kind of skipped it before, but like it's not bad. Because like end game, our setup would be Buzzsaw, Echelon, Rising Tide, Leech, right? So that's 4 memory used up. And then you have 1 slot to rotate in fermenters. So maybe we don't... Botchless would be better for early game, though, because then we can just slam through whatever ice they put down. 1 or 2 Botulises would not be bad to have. Yeah, let's grab 2 Botulis. I don't know why I keep trying to put the numbers in here. That's not how NRDB is set up. So that gets us to 45, which again, like, it's not the end of the world to get up to 45. That's what every other runner is. But at the same time, you know, one of the benefits of Lou is you get to make a leaner and meaner deck, right? So do we have a way to cut this down at least to like 43 or 42? What goes if we cut something? I mean, Alarm Clock probably, but then we have to spend that influence elsewhere, so it doesn't actually help us reduce the size of the deck. And I do think it's a fun thing to try. You know, we'll see how effective it is, but I don't know that we need 3 ferment. Well, we're not swimming in money, honestly. It's a lot of yeah. I'm wary about cutting the fermenters. Could cut 1 Solidarity Badge, maybe. And could maybe cut 1 Leech. Let's cut 1 Leech. Let's see how this feels, and we can always adjust after the fact. Hannah's another, like, just really strong utility card we don't have in here. I'm going to go with this list for now, and we can always pivot based on how it performs. All right. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, like, I've been very dismissive of Demolisher as a console, just because, like, well, 2 for 1, that kind of sucks. But with Strike Fun and Steel Skin, maybe it's not so bad, actually. It might be worth giving a second thought to. Audrey would be another possible include here, honestly. Like, we're trashing stuff left and right. And to some extent, not having Audrey in this deck feels a little bit like I'm leaving cash on the table. I could totally see swapping out this whole Breaker Suite for just, like, Audrey, get a buffer drive in here, Ashen Epilogue, all that good stuff, you know. I am mostly doing that just out of, like, again, I've done a lot of Seb with that, like, setup, and I want to try something different. Yeah, I could totally see going just, like, swing fully into Virus's grit, like Augustina. Also, are there even any other viruses we'd want to include here? Audrey, obviously. Get Audrey, get cookbooks. Oh, Chisel, that's the big one. Yeah, we'd want Chisel, we'd want Devil Charm. Maybe, like, 1 Araceris crew. Maybe 2. Wonder how, because I remember early on in Elevation, people were tooling around with Padma with Cacophony and, like, Dag. I wonder how you could do so. I wonder what Cacophony Dag would look like here. I guess someone tried that with Asa, right? That was another thing people were doing, which makes sense because Asa is just all Sabo all the time. All right. Let's see here. How do we feel about this hand? I think how I feel about this hand is I like seeing the Gourmand, and I like seeing the Mystic Miami, and I'm less enthusiastic about the other 3 cards. They're all good cards, but they're not good turn 1 cards per se. Pinhole can be. I would happily keep 1 Pinhole here. 2 feels like overkill. 2 feels like I'm going to have a Pinhole sitting in my hand for half the game, you know? So I think I'm going to mull, just to, you know. Okay. There's more variety in this hand, at least. Although I am missing the Gourmand. I wonder what kind of PD we're looking at here. Okay. So I think right off the bat, let's just do this. What are we scared of this being? Drafter. I've forgotten every piece of HB ice there is. Ablative. Okay. I'm perfectly happy with that. Make some money, draw a card, diffuse the ablative before it can do anything. Okay. Let's draw. Draw. Echelon. Got every breaker except the one I want. Let's run HQ. Just to force you to spend some money. Hell yeah. And slap down a Mystic. CT1 Raindrops OP, you know? Hey, when you're right, you're right. I was happy doing it. Cohort. Okay. Those pinholes I threw away would come in handy right now. I still don't have a good sense of what their, like, game plan is. Because PD can do a couple different things. And I'm not, like, immediately like, oh, this is that list, you know, which maybe I should be. But it's not pinging for me right away. It doesn't seem... It's not the core damage one. They're doing fully op shit. Okay. I would love to find a gourmand. That is not a gourmand. Where can I get it down? Hey! You know, sometimes this game's real easy. And then I guess let's just do this. Yeah, I will happily steal the best card in their deck. Just off the top. Oh, they're doing something. Oh, wait, they threw Nano Management out? What? Oh, then they can bounce it with PD. They don't care about throwing it out. Right. That makes sense. Got it. And then I guess, yeah, you're not going to do anything with that this turn. That's what I've been looking for. Yeah, drawing and getting a credit back when you trash a card feels pretty nice. Me and Lou might be getting along just fine, actually. Anyway, it only means they're holding one hand. That's also possible. Ooh, don't know if we've got anyone around to ban this spam other than me. How do I do that? There we go. Ban. Okay, it's not an agenda. Bring down the Bangu and hammer. 2 damage and attack. Losers, that's right! Even acknowledging they could just bounce the nano back with PD, it does kind of suggest something weird's going on in that hand, you know? I think let's do this to save Mystic if nothing else. Let's make them spend some money. Probably should have just gone for a breaker instead of getting the Silent Chip down. That was more important. Although, like, well, it's not an MIC. It's not a Brawn. White space. That's not ideal, but we do get through. Powers, yep. Happily trash that. What are we good to throw out here? My gut is we throw one of these out because eventually we'll get another Rising Tide that we can do Simulchip bullshit with. And so far they're not showing a Sentry, so I think let's just drop that. Powers PD is nasty. It's cruel and unusual. We have like 3 or 4 guys in the local area that all do. They'll play other stuff sometimes too, but they just fucking love fast advanced PD, and it's so stressful to fight against because they go very horizontal like this, and then it's just wage workers into red level, into nano management, into just like, oh, and now like you trash their wage workers. Never mind, they got 2 copies of it back because they scored an agenda, and it's just like, God, please. Please put me out of my misery. Oh god, wait till Vantage Point gives them a real 5-3. Yeah. Ugh. Gourmand? I think let's do this. Let's run HQ. So far we have not made good on what I said I wanted to do with this deck, which was harass HQ constantly. I wonder if Trickster Taka makes any sense here. Let's slap down a Gourmand. Good agenda. Yeah, like, HB is already doing pretty alright for itself without good agendas. That said, I do think, I think they will reban Luminal once HB has any decent agendas other than Luminal, you know? Luminal's a nutso card. It's kind of wild they ever printed it. Okay. Well, that's reading like a spin doctor. Yay, Botulus. Alright, so slap a Botulus down on you. Put back Alarm Clock, Pinhole, and Shashdushka. Start turn, Solidarity, draw, Demolisher. Okay. I was not playing when they had Project Vacheron. I see the vision with Vacheron. It's a fun concept, but it's... yeah, oh god. Yeah, pay 1 to trash, which I then get refunded from Lou. Oh, and yeah, I get double refunded. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this is pretty fun, honestly. I think I am enjoying... you know, partway through one game, Lou is kind of winning my heart. just get a fermenter cooking. Oh yeah, Sports Metal of Acheron sounds real bad. Yeah, Lube is very naturally like an enemy to asset spam. Which is maybe another argument for having Hannah in here. Really make asset spam just crumple. There's got to be agendas in HQ at this point. And I am realizing that that is one thing we don't have is a strong like multi-access win con. With the 2 virtuals, we might want to squeeze a twinning in here. That kind of makes sense. That reads like an agenda. We're not as up on money. I would love like a sure gamble. No dice. Because just installing you is going to put me back a good ways. Because I'd love to like install you and then like do a simulchip trick right here to break through whatever this is. We might just have to let them have this. And let's just go poke around in their hand, see what we can find. Yes. Do we trust them that this is really an agenda, or do we test it? It could be like a wage workers. Let's take a peek. We got Miami credits. The other option would be this reads like a spin doctor, and we could use this as a sneaky way to get it without them getting to res. That's more fun. Yep. And then our money continues to not be great, so. Now that said, if that is an agenda, then they just get it right back, so maybe that was dumb. But even if that's like a 3-2, they have to go broke to score it this turn. So I'm not too mad about it either way. Let's go Hort. Okay. Can they do some like nano management bullshit here? No, they can't. Like they could nano out of 3-2 if they want to get down to 0 credits, but I don't think that makes any sense. Okay. Let's just take a look at what you left in hand. Hey, alright. but I think I'm just gonna let it rock here. Eco campaign. Yeah, just pay for that. Hey, you never punished. All right. Let's. Oh, insufficient MU. Shit. Hold on. Let's just raindrops it. And if it's a bad face check, it's a bad face check. What can you do? That's totally fine, actually. Hell yeah. Alright. I can throw out Demolisher and a Rising Tide. Oh, you know what? I did forget about the Botulus. You're totally right. I wasn't looking at that. No big deal, though. I'm not too crabby about them going broke to score one agenda. Oh, that's probably an off-off. Yeah, so they did not go broke. So, what can you do? What are they getting back? I should turn on the shadow program option. You are totally right about that. Where is that option? Is it just in settings? I can mess with it after this game. Solidarity, draw. Alright, there it is. We may as well just snipe this. Okay. And then... And what do we drop? We can drop a Botulus. If we ever want it back, we got Salmon Chips. Next turn we can pop these Fermenters to free up some MU. At least free pop one of them. Or not. They heard me. I think we do still... Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and sack the botch. We are getting into what I was kind of hoping this deck could pull off, which is just, you don't get to have a hand. Okay. Those are not... Well, the Steel Skin's not super useful at this point. Let's run R&D. Bring back a Gourmand. Yeah, I do think we incidentally picked a very good counter pick to this corp. Like, it is just kind of... You'd be hard-pressed to have a better, like, setup against this specific corp strategy. Yeah, that's gonna be rude. Okay, let's rip it. They went straight off. Oh, they mostly went straight off the top. Interesting. Well, let's check and see if R&D screwed them. Well, got 1 point. Oh, Plutus! They're doing a Plutus thing. Damn, they did not draw Plutus until this late in the game. That sucks. Then I think let's put down our last simul chip. Run HQ, because there's either agendas or stuff they consider too precious to trash in here, and either way, I want it. There it is. Whew. Surprised how many people go off R&D. Yeah, it tends to be... It works a lot better if you are... if you have, like, a spin doctor or something. All right. Almost 11. We can do a couple more here. Yeah, after one game, I'm giving this deck a thumbs up. I'm giving this this concept a thumbs up at the very least. I said finding room for a win con would be nice. We need like a better stress test, because again, if you showed me that deck list, I would have built something that looked almost exactly like this to counter it. So I want to see how this deck fares against a deck that is a little less like of a match made in heaven, to really get a better sense of where the pain points are for it. We were definitely low on money for a lot of that game, but by the end we weren't. So I'm not ready to say like, oh, we have a money problem. I said, having the two companions does kind of make twinning appealing. And see, this is kind of the problem, especially with Anarch right now in this game, because like, oh, hey, companions are generically good. Everyone wants to install stuff. Everyone wants to play events. Why wouldn't you put a Miami or a Paladin in your deck, right? And then once you have done that, it's like, well, if I have those in here anyway, I may as well put in the twinning. And then once you've done that, you're like, well, why not put more companions in? And then once you've done that, well, I've got all these companions, why not use Keiko as the console? And then you've done all that, and you're like, well, why not just use Hosh for just reliable card draw? And, like, it is so hard to resist the urge to just converge on that one Anarch archetype, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, hey, credit where it's due, that exact list is not what won Worlds, right? It was Hosh, and it did have twinning and stuff, but it was going off bling, it was doing weird stuff. So it's not like that is just the canonical, objectively right way to play Anarch, but, you know, you feel the gravitation towards that list anytime you start thinking about how to build an Anarch deck right now. And a big part of that problem is just, hey, the card pool's small right now, you know? What can you do? Yeah, I'm not... This might be a tougher one. This is a really fun matchup to have into Seb, because you, like, it's like you're both racing to trash the ice, you know? It really feels like a game of, like, whoever gets their engine up and running faster wins, you know? And that can always be fun. Okay, we did not get to play with Alarm Clock last time, so I'm glad that we're getting it early this time. Ace is another one I have not tried at all. I really should try, is it Zir? It's Z-Zir, right? Not like Z-Zem. It's an X. I don't know if it's like a Z or like a G sound, you know? Okay, okay. I think we need draw. Let's let that cook for a turn or two. The fact that you're so reticent to res makes me think it's a pricey ice. Or it's a boomy, and I just gave you that for free, which we'll find out next turn. Either way. Every time I load into an Asa game, I'm like, oh, shucks, I want to play a game in Netrunner. May I suggest playing Bangoon? Asa has to be real careful around Bangoon. Do we run this? I don't think we do. Be burning 2 clicks to force a res, basically, right? Well, no, let's do it. I kind of blew right through it. I could probably have triggered Botulus before triggering Alarm Clock, right? Yeah, they have the same trigger point. Okay, that is exactly what I thought was going to happen. I think we just keep going. Let's just eat the face check. I want to see what they're playing with. My guess is Mercia gets trashed here. Oh, no. They just did this. Alright. What are we cool with allowing to happen? We'll let them have the install, because we'll just trash it. Well, we won't, because we're out of clicks, but that's okay. Probably don't pop Gashima at the end of this turn, because if we have, like... I don't necessarily want to go broke off of it. Well, maybe. It's a 2 discount. Yeah, I mean, what would I be afraid of hitting? Yeah. Okay, we can... I mean, we do need Echelon. Although it's pretty useless on its own here. And I think we put back Simulchip, Rising Tide, and Sure Gamble, I guess. A virus. Rude. extremely rude. I don't care for it. Yeah, I said like Ace has a hard time with Bangoon, but honestly, it just feels like just a slugfest. You are just beating the shit out of each other in a way that's really fun. Between the two, I want Gourmand. And then we can put back God. Ugh. We only have one Solidarity badge, right? This is all our money. This sucks. I guess. Ugh. If that's like a trank, we shouldn't. We've got Gourmand if it's a trank. Although we're gonna end up overdrawing, which ain't great. Humanoid. Yeah, we won't overdraw if we use Gourmand, so yeah. And they shuffled back one unseen. So they've probably drawn. They've likely drawn 3 agendas, possibly shuffled 1 back, which means there's possibly 2 in hand. I like when people equate sabotage to multi-access because it's really the tempo loss and randomly sniping deck pieces that's the biggest problem. Yeah, it's kind of a pseudo multi-access, right? But it's not the same thing. I agree. So is that a Mersha or is that a Manic Arm? And what are we worried this ice is? I feel like it could be Boomy, but I doubt it. It could be Brawn. You've got a lot of money. It would not be crazy to be Brawn. I think let's go ahead and just find out. It's another on sale. Okay, I can click through it. That's... I think we allow the install to happen. Yeah, finality, you play either first turn of the game or last turn of the game. It is so disheartening to like lose on a like whiff on finality. Yeah, Manic Arm. Okay, that's a bummer. Oh, how about you huff my farts? How about you just you have oh, you shuffled back the Mavirus and then you drew it again. Wow. Okay. I don't care for that. Let's get you cooking on you. Okay. Yes. Watch list first. I have to let the install go. I think we don't do it this turn. We do it next turn. If we click through this, we don't have anything that we need for that. I think you're probably getting a score off here. We just need money. Well, that's kind of money. Yeah, Begamon is a nasty thing. It's rude. Okay. Send a message or vulnerability, do we think? Send a message? Okay. Microweb. Woof. Woof. Okay. Well, I don't like any of this. I think let's go ahead and just pop in, right? Counter, bypass, encounter, fully break, breach. Hey! 2 can play that game. Except Miami is going to be a problem for us now. Ah! Shucks. I'm really torn. Because on one hand, Leech is going to be really important for fighting this thing. On the other hand, how do I charge it? I guess I charge it running HQ. Running HQ is going to be expensive no matter which way you cut it, though. I need, like, just 2 Rising Tides down to get Echelon up to strength, I guess. I should not have drawn. I for some reason, I thought I had 2 clicks left, not 1. Ugh. This stinks. I guess we can lose Fermenter. I guess we can lose Chashtushka. And then do we take the damage? This one turn, I'm going to take the damage. Okay, well. We have another Buzzsaw. We have a Simulchip. That might not be the end of the world. We do not run this turn. Do that. What do you cost to break if I get Buzzsaw out? You cost 6. Getting Buzzsaw down is going to cost 1, 2. Oh, just 1. No, yeah, it costs 0 because I can use the Paladin credits either way. So 6 plus another 5 to beat the Skunkworks. It's like all our money, but, well, we are going to get Fermenter money. Wait. Hold on, what? Wasn't that a 3? What did I just do? Am I just, like, bad? Oh, no, I am just bad at math. I visualize what's going to happen too hard. Doy. It's like, wait, well, I thought it was at 3 strength. And, like, no, it's not yet. Server pay 5. Trank. Okay. Not too shabby. That is still an expensive server to get into, though. Get Leech down. Get Solidarity Badge down. Pinhole this. Probably worth considering doing this instead of this, like trashing the Mersha. But I don't know how much we're going to be running R&D anyway. Obviously, you can move Mersha around. I think we need to know, because if this is an agenda, we can steal it this turn. It's not. Okay, that's fine. That's kind of fun that they didn't res it to try and fake us out. Or that maybe they just assumed we were hitting the Mersha. I mean, we could go back and hit the Mersha. We'll hit the Mersha next turn, I think. We're maxed on MU right now, right? Yeah, we are. Okay. Makes sense. That's a bummer. I was really liking how that game was shaping up. Yeah, next turn it would have been... That's at 3, so we alarm clock in, break that for 2, fully break that, get in. Having Gourmand down would have been nice, but at least we get a leech counter. See what we see. If they're not getting more ice over here, I think we had them in a pretty tight spot. Because I think we had that remote camped out pretty well at this point. As long as we keep getting leech counters to make Ansel break for cheap, we might have even eventually just set down a second Rising Tide to make him put Echelon at 4 strength. And at that point, we could probably get rid of the Botulus. Yeah, it wasn't a sure thing at all. It was still very much anybody's game. That's why I'm a little bummed that we had to cut it there, because this was an interesting game we had going. But is what it is. Let's try and do one more, and then I'm probably going to call it for the night. Nope, it's still not my personal Twitch that I haven't used in years. It continues to be the channel that I've been doing this entire time. Flamin' Raven. Atea. Okay. So, how do we like this hand? I like having the alarm clock early. I like having Fermenter. I don't know how much I like the rest of it. I'm going to mulligan. Hey, we still got to keep the alarm clock. Okay. Even HQ open. Interesting. I won't lie. Part of the reason I'm putting Alarm Clock in here is that I, a couple months ago got a very cool Alarm Clock alt art by a local artist, and I want an excuse to put it in a deck that I take to locals this week. They kind of did it as part of a set with Burner, and I think there was one more that I'm blanking on, but it's they all kind of look like old-timey like advertisements like that you would see almost like in Fallout or something, of like just like a little like flyer for an alarm clock or for like a box of matches for Burner. Leave an HQ open 2 turns in a row, and they had the option to ice it, and they didn't take it. Which is interesting. That might just mean they've got nothing there to... Like, it might just be... I don't know. I don't know what's in here. That's why we're going to run it and find out. Hansei, okay. Yeah, remember how I was like, this doesn't make much sense to me as a move, and yet here I am doing it. Hansei Ryu again, cool. So, they had Lacoste Grid on there. Not surprised if that's an agenda. Not surprised if it's a clearinghouse. I'm a little surprised if it's a clearinghouse. Could be a Charlotte. This is reading like a Charlotte to me. Seeing a lot of tag stuff. Mindscaping, planogram, painting a picture. Probably shouldn't have done this last click, but hey, it is what it is. Empiricist. Well, they went broke. This is definitely a Charlotte, no question. I just said I'm seeing a lot of tag stuff, and I'm ending the turn tagged, so that's not great. But, I mean, I was going to say it's not like they can kill me, but they do have a planogram in hand, don't they? Yeah, this is bad. Oh, no! Come on now! Rude. Yeah, okay. Right, Charlotte. Yeah, no, I might just be dead. Yeah, Mindscaping doesn't kill me. You need an end of the line to kill me. Okay. If that's a Cloud Eater or an anemone, I cannot run HQ without dying. I guess I could run HQ without dying if it's a Cloud Eater, but it would hurt. It would suck. So I think you'd take a turn off here. And I think let's get this cooking here and remove the tag. That Mitra, maybe? Oh, it could be, what's her name? The Leo upgrade. Because that can pop, Atea. Mersha, there we go. That's reading like another Charlotte. I'm very curious what that ice is that they're keeping their powder dry on it so much. Yep. Holloman. Interesting. I'm wondering, I think this probably isn't a Cloud Eater. But maybe that's a Cloud Eater. And they were trying to keep the Holloman protected. And that's why they didn't want to res this. I don't know, just a thought. Is it longevity or... Oh! Oh! Ouch! Oh, they are running the table on me. We need a pinhole and we need a pinhole now. Yeah, let's... Yep. Real tempted to play that. There it is. God, having a Regenesis set up with a bare naked archives is... That's a gutsy play. We need to get this Gourmand down. These alarm clock runs could be a lot scarier. Okay. I think you don't res, because I think you just want to win. Hofrune. Our money sucks is the problem. That didn't help. Gashapon might have been the right call there, actually, now that I think about it. They're not rushing to do something on that server 2 thing, so it's either another upgrade or it's another hollow. Well, yeah, it's either like a defensive upgrade or it's like another Hollow Man. I really thought Gorman was going to force a res. Okay. Money's looking a little prettier. I think that was just something you're slapping down to add more ice to server 2. That's my bet. You've gone through 30 cards, and you've only spun doctored once. There's got to be agendas all over the damn place, right? It could very well be that server 2's been agenda this whole time, that you're scared to advance, because you'll think I'll steal it as soon as I know that it's something to be stolen. Alright, let's put down... It's a 2 credit discount? 2 credit discount. I think we probably should not fuck around and get Echelon out here. And put back Gourmand, Pinhole, Fermenter? Okay. And we should check. We know that you like to pull bullshit off, so... The worst case scenario is a virus. No, okay. Send a message. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. You're faking me out. Now here's the $1 million question, though. Is it not a fake out? Is it you forked me and put 2 agendas down? Because did I not just make this much more impenetrable? If I bounce back the Rising Tide with Simulchip, that costs a lot to break. It's 4 to boost, 2 to fully break, 3 to partially break. Or 3, yeah, wait, no. 3 to fully break, 2 to partially break. So 6 or 7. And we have 2 more pieces of ice to go. And then we have to win a side game. I think I just have to pray on this one. I think if I run that and it's not an agenda, my game is just fucked and they've won. So I think I have to just bet against it being an agenda. Jazz looks good. Yeah, I think could have made the argument to Chishtushka there. I think I will definitely do it next turn. If I survive to next turn, which I'm going to. That's reading like a Jendi that I don't know how to steal. Hey. Okay. I think we do this, then this. No further. What is this ice? It is killing me that they won't res this ice. Do we check or do we try to get in here? If they just put an Anoetic down, we don't care about it. We could slap down Buzzsaw and run, but then if they have an enemy, we're just dead. They don't have any fast advance tools. Well, unless they just put a Hollow Man down, then they do, right? Where are we at on influence? No, we have not seen much influence at all. Like, we assume 3 of these, that's 6, 8. Yeah, there's more than enough to have multiple Hollow Men. Yeah. I think we gotta try it. And unfortunately, it's even if we get through this, it comes down to a Psy game, which I'm not thrilled about, but that is the game of Netrun now. And we have to fully break. We can't tank the damage. Okay. Okay. So this was kind of a paper tiger of a server. Breach. Okay. This sucks. There's no rhyme or reason here, right? I think we just roll a die. 6. We'll bet 2. Fuck! Let's hope that's not a Hollowman. Can they... Look, Costa. Okay. Do we care about... We care about it because of vulnerability audit. Yep. Okay. That might be game. Credit. Perfect. Whoofa doofa. If we had just won the Psy game, we had it. That also goes to show you, though, like, I got too scared of that server too fast. That server was dirt cheap to get into. Until... If on that one turn I had gone the opposite order, right? I could have done something there. If I had run server 2 before server 5, because the Boto was the only expensive thing on that server. Yeah. Jinteki is so scary to run against. You need a killer down to do it, right? Or they will just fucking kill you. And then even once you have a killer down, if it's an expensive sentry, I guess, what are the expensive sentries in Jinteki? It's just Empiricist, really, right? Which is, like, not fun to run into, but you can live through it. Like, Seisenton's the real scary boy. An enemy's scary. And, like, there's no breaker can save you from an enemy. You know, I guess Hush can save you from an enemy, but, like, come on now. I should have asked them before they left if, I wasn't tracking it. No, the vulnerability just went down, yeah. Well, that's how it goes. I am into this deck, though. There's definitely something here. It might need some tweaking. I think Alarm Clock's a lot of fun. When you can, like, cycle the Gourmands with Simulchips and just beat the shit out of their hand, it does kind of do what I want it to do. How much influence is Cupellation? Because Cupellation would be really nice to squeeze in here, but I think it's like 3, isn't it? No, it's only 2. So if we go back and look at this deck, can we make room for a Cupellation? Ooh, it'd be tight. You'd cut maybe 1 Simulchip, 1 Pinhole. That'd probably be the way to do it. I could see doing Cupellation. Cupellation's also really nice. This is an interaction I found out the hard way playing Bangoon, is that Cupellation breaks persistent cards. Because the way persistent technically works is it is not this effect applies for the duration of the breach regardless of what happens to the card. What persistent specifically says, according to the rules, is that its ability triggers if it gets trashed. Cupellation does not trash. So if you couplate a Tucana or an Amaze Amusements or whatever, then it doesn't fire. So that's a nice little tech with it. You can steal petty caches out to stop fast advances from, like, Nebula and Mirror Morph. There's, like, a lot of fun little techie things you can do with Cupellation, in addition to it just being, like, a knockout punch, potentially. You have to sack the Alarm Clock. Yeah, I like the Alarm Clock, though. I'm, like, starting from the premise of Alarm Clock belongs in this deck. So if we're saying that we need 3 Pinhole, 3 Simul, then we don't have room for a Cupellation, period. Like, I would be willing to acknowledge that that's probably correct. But, you know, sometimes you gotta do one for you, you know? What we need is for them to just print a good Anarch killer, and then we can cut the echelons. We just make room for a cookbook and go off Hofrune. But no, you are probably correct that, yes, Cupellation, maybe even 2 Cupellations, is a better expenditure of influence than 1 Alarm Clock. Anyway, this has been another week in Netrunner. I'm not used to doing these solo. I hope it was still fun without me riffing with somebody. I'm gonna go clean the kitchen, I think. So, y'all have a good night, and I will probably catch you next week. So long, everybody. I'll report back on how this does when I take it in person.